Who's your hero of faith? A preacher, a missionary, a modern-day role model? What if the greatest heroes of all time never held microphones or ruled kingdoms, but simply walked with God in quiet obedience? In Hebrews 11, often called the Hall of Faith, we're invited into a legacy of men and women whose lives changed history not by force, but by faith. Their stories are ancient, but their courage speaks louder than ever. The chapter begins with a definition. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Then, one by one, the writer of Hebrews begins to call out names, not as a list of legends, but as examples to follow. By faith, Noah built an ark. He'd never seen rain. People mocked him, yet he obeyed because God had spoken. And his obedience saved not just his family, but the future of the world. By faith, Abraham left everything familiar, not knowing where he was going. He wandered, trusted, waited, and believed the impossible, that he and his elderly wife would have a child. And they did. Abraham became the father of nations not because he was strong, but because he believed God's promise. By faith, Moses chose the hard road. He walked away from the luxury of Pharaoh's palace to identify with a suffering people. He led Israel out of slavery, faced Pharaoh, crossed the Red Sea, and received the commandment Saul because he trusted the one who is invisible. These weren't perfect people. They had doubts. They failed. But what set them apart wasn't flawless performance, it was relentless trust. They believed God even when circumstances didn't make sense, and that belief shaped their actions. Hebrews 11 continues with a long list of others: Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Rahab, Gideon, Samson, David, Samuel, and many more who, through faith, conquered kingdoms, administered justice, shut the mouths of lions, quenched the fury of flames. Others were imprisoned, tortured, and killed. The world wasn't worthy of them, and here's the most humbling part. These were all commended for their faith, yet none of them received what had been promised. They lived for something beyond themselves, for a heavenly reward they couldn't yet see. So how do we respond? We remember that real faith doesn't always look flashy. It looks like obedience in the dark, trust in uncertainty, courage when no one's watching. We may not part seas or build arcs, but we can say yes to God in the quiet moments of our lives. Read Hebrews 11. Let their stories stir yours. And when you wonder if your faith matters, remember you're walking the same path as the heroes of old. The question is no longer who were the heroes, but will you be one of them?